Good morning, all of you. Today's topic is antibiotics. Myself, Dr. Rohit Jaisinghbor. We discuss about the in today's lecture, that is introduction of antibiotics, then uses of antibiotics, administration and classification of antibiotics. Introduction: antibiotics are also known as antibacterial agent. They are example of antimicrobial drug. Basically, antibiotics are used in the treatment of or prevention of bacterial infection. Antibiotics are either kill or inhibits the bacterial growth. Some antibiotics are effective in the treatment of fungi, and some antibiotics are effective for the protozoan infection. Antibiotics are toxic in nature to the humans, to the animals, because it gives an high side effect. But antibiotics are not used for the viral infection. They do not give any effect on a viral infection such as a common cold or influenza infection. The scientist Alexander, the Fleming Alexander, gives an antibiotic discovery. The first antibiotic drug, that is penicillin, was discovered by the Alexander Fleming in 1929. The first antibacterial drug was discovered by the Domark, that is Prontosil drug, in 1939. The Prontosil was get patented and awarded the Nobel Prize in 1939 for the antibacterial drug. Prontosil is the first drug and penicillin is the first antibiotic. The term antibiotic meaning is against life. Antibiotics are produced by the various bacteria or fungi or other organism. Most of the antibiotics are synthesized in a pharmaceutical lab. They are produced by the modification of various natural compounds. For example, beta-lactam antibiotics such as penicillin was are discovered or produced by the fungi Penicillium. Now Penicillium is a type of fungi and penicillin was discovered with the help of fungi. If compounds are isolated from the living organism, then it is known as aminoglycoside. Other antibacterial drugs are produced or discovered by the chemical synthesis. For example, sulfonamide quinolones was produced by the synthesis. In antibiotics are classified by using the chemical or biosynthetic origin such as natural, semi-synthetic or synthetic antibiotics. It also having the another classification such as bactericidal or bacteriostatic. Now what is bactericidal and bacteriostatic? The bactericidal means the antibiotics are used to kill the bacteria, And bacteriostatics means to inhibit the bacterial growth. Now, this is a main difference for the bacteriostatic and bactericidal. Then uses of antibiotics. The main use is to treat and prevention of bacterial infection. Second use is they are used for the treatment of protozoan infection. For example, metronidazole was effective against the parasite. Third use is they are used for the surgical wounds, for the treatment and prevention of surgical wounds. Then fourth use is they are also used for the dental antibiotics to control the bacterial infection on the teeth. Fifth use is they are also used in a condition of neutropenia. Now, what is neutropenia? That is cancer related infection. Then administration of antibiotics. Antibiotics was taken either orally or either by the injection. Now, what is oral antibiotics? Oral antibiotics means when antibiotics was taken with the help of mouth, then it is known as oral antibiotics. And intravenous antibiotic means when antibiotics was taken with the help of injection. It may be intravenous, it may be intramuscular or subcutaneous injection. But sometimes antibiotics was used for the systemic infection, so that they are used in the form of topically, in the form of eye drop or ointment, etc. Then main use is a classification. Now, classification of antibiotics, they are classified into the various group, that is depending upon the following basis. On the basis of bacterial spectrum, antibiotics are classified on the basis of bacterial spectrum or on the basis of mode of action. Mode of action means mechanism of action, how antibiotics are or gives effect on the human body. And last is a general classification. Now first we see about on the basis of bacterial spectrum. Now on the basis of bacterial spectrum, antibiotics are classified into the two types. First is a broad spectrum antibiotics and second is a short spectrum antibiotics. Now first we see about broad spectrum antibiotics. For example, amoxicillin, tetracycline, cephalosporin, chloramphenicol, erythromycins, they are examples of broad spectrum antibiotics. Then next is a short spectrum antibiotics, for example penicillin G, then chlorhexidine, vancomycin, bacteristricin, fluoxetine. Now these are the example of short spectrum antibiotics. I repeat, penicillin G, then chlorhexidine, vancomycin, fluoxetine. These are the all example of short spectrum antibiotics. Then next classification on the basis of mode of action or mechanism of action. Now it again classified into the two types, that is bacteriostatic and bactericidal antibiotics. Now you also know that the bacteriostatic means to inhibits the bacterial growth. The examples of bacteriostatic antibiotics, that is tetracycline, chloramphenicol, erythromycin, lincomycin, these are the all examples of the bacteriostatic antibiotic. Then bactericidal. Bactericidal is also known as, or bactericidal are used to treat, to kill the bacterial growth. Example are the cephalosporin, penicillin, erythromycin, aminoglycoside, clotrimazole. These are the examples of bactericidal antibiotics. And last is a general classification of antibiotics. Now it can be divided into the various group like beta-lactam antibiotic, which is my favorite topic. For example, penicillin and cephalosporin, these are the two examples from the beta-lactam antibiotic. Then fluoroquinolones, then tetracycline, aminoglycosides, monobactam, carbabactam, or monobactam or carbapinum, macrolide antibiotics, and last one is a unclassified antibiotics. Now in this way we finish the today's antibiotic introduction, then uses, administration and general classification with a example on the basis of spectrum, then on the basis of mode of action. Now in next lecture we see the next topic is a beta-lactam antibiotic. There are the two examples. First is a penicillin and cephalosporin. These are the two examples of beta-lactam antibiotics. Please like my video, share my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.